Yeah, hello my lovely fans. It is another beautiful day as I welcome you to Menalights TV. Now this time around, our topic is shapes and space, and at this shapes and space, we are going to look at angles. Now when we talk about angles, angles are formed when two lines meet. When two straight lines meet, what is formed is what we call an angle. So when we talk about an angle, we use an instrument to measure angle. So this instrument is what we call protractor. So protractor is the instrument that we use to measure angles. And angles are measured in degrees. So we say angles are formed when two straight lines meet. And the instrument we use for measuring angles is called protractor. Then angles are measured in degrees. So we want to look at the types of angles that we have. So the first type of angle that we have is what? Right angles. So right angles measured exactly 90 degrees. So any angle that measures exactly 90 degrees, we call that angle right angles. So these are some common examples of right angles. So whenever you see a diagram like this, with this L something on it, it means what? It's a right angle. And it measures what? Exactly 90. So this is an example. This is also an example. So the number two example of angle is acute angles. So these angles are greater than 0 degrees, but less than 90 degrees. So an angle that falls between 0 and 90, we call them acute angles. So examples are 1 degree, 30 degrees, 89 degrees, 47 degrees, and so on and so forth. These angles are less than 90 degrees. So we call them acute angles. So when you look at this, if this is our 90, you realize that this angle is less than 90. So because of this was an acute angle. So you can say that 0 is less than theta, which is an angle, which is also less than 90 degrees. So which means this theta is greater than 0 degrees, but less than 90. So that means from 1 up to 89, these angles we call the what? Acute angles. Our third type of angle is obtuse angles. So they are angles that are greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So the angles that fall within 90 degrees and then 180, in between 90 and 180, we call them obtuse angles. So here 90 degrees is less than theta and the theta is also less than 180, which means the angle that we have here is greater than 90 but less than 180. So the angles that are greater than 90 are from 91 up to 179, because this 180 is greater than the theta that we have, is greater than the angle that we have here. So examples are 91, 179, 156, and so on and so forth. These angles, they are greater than 90 but less than 180 degrees. So we come to our fourth example, which is angles on a straight line. So angles on a straight line, they add up to 180 degrees. So when you say straight line angles, their sum is what? 180, which means that so when you have A plus B plus C degrees, all have to give you what? 180 degrees. So here in this diagram, you have to find the value of x here. So we have x 50 degrees and 100 degrees. So we know that straight angles, when you add them, you get what? 180 degrees. So that means so you have x plus 50 plus 100 is equal to 180. So x plus 150 is equal to 180. Then x is equal to 180 minus 150. So we have x which is equal to 30. Which means the angle at x here, or the angle that is represented by x, is 30 degrees. So 30 plus 50 will give us 80. 80 plus 100 will give us 180 degrees. So angles on a straight line, when you add them, surely you get what? 180 degrees. So our next type of angle is what? Reflex angles. So these reflex angles are angles that are greater than 180 but less than 360 degrees. So this is a symbol to represent what? A reflex angle. So when you see something like this is what? A reflex angle. So these angles lie between 180 and then 360 degrees. So from 181 to 350 9 degrees. The angles that fall within that range, we call them reflex angles. So they are greater than 180 but less than 360 degrees. So our next type of angle is angle at a point. So angle at a point measured exactly 360 degrees.